Of course, that's not the only thing causing trouble for the White House. The Supreme Court blocked President Biden's OSHA vaccine mandate for large employers yesterday. However, they also upheld a vaccination requirement for healthcare workers at facilities that receive federal money.
But questions still remain about what about Americans who have already lost their jobs or those who live in a state with vaccine mandates in place? Joining us now to discuss is distinguished university professor at Touro College, Thane Rosenbaum, and constitutional law attorney Amir Benno. Great to have both of you with us. Feel very lucky today to go through this. Amir, let's start with you in reference to the move that SCOTUS made yesterday on both counts, both opinions. Did either surprise you? But then also moving it forward, specifically those who have lost their jobs already, what type of standing, if any, does this give them?
Well, to answer your first question, Heather, no, it doesn't surprise me. It's, from the oral argument, I think we predicted that it was going to break this way with them putting the stay on the OSHA mandate, but not staying the Medicare, Medicaid one. I think that on the Medicaid, Medicare side is wrong. I think the dissent was correct for the same reason that OSHA was stayed. But be that as it may, that one is at least able to move forward. Keep in mind that these were just stays. This was the emergency docket. So the actual merits cases are still proceeding in the lower courts. So when you ask what effect this will have on employees who may have lost their jobs, that obviously factors in to this equation because the case is not yet over, even though we've heard how the Supreme Court is likely going to rule on it. And for those people who've lost their jobs because of the federal mandate, if their employers were going to impose that mandate on their business anyway, they don't have much standing there because the EEOC has already said that employers can impose these kind of vaccine mandates on their workforce. Mm-hmm. If you are losing your job because of a state mandate, this decision yesterday has nothing to do with that.
Thane, were you surprised that Brett Kavanaugh joined those? A lot of people considered him conservative and were surprised that he joined the folks saying federal government can mandate healthcare institutions that receive federal money to actually get the vaccine.
I'm not. Again, two of the Trump justices that he appointed did vote with the conservatives. Look, remember, the Supreme Court took this position yesterday that says, is the coronavirus an occupational hazard, or is it just a hazard of daily life? Is it something that is unique to the workplace environment itself? And the answer to that is no. And so the federal government used OSHA, and OSHA is usually, it's the Department of Labor, involved in things like asbestos and lead paint and black lung disease. But we know that the coronavirus is brought into the workplace from the outside, and it's not a uniquely workplace contaminant. So you can see how maybe one of the justices would say, all right, that's with respect to large employers, but with respect to hospitals, that's where the coronavirus is, right? That's where it is. People who usually come in to facilities that receive Medicare or Medicaid payments are places where the virus is at. And so therefore, in that situation, since it's federal money anyway, maybe the federal government, again, Amir disagreed with that as well, and I understand what he's saying, but there is a better argument precisely because it fits in better into this occupational hazard. In this case, there was like they split the baby. Mm-hmm. They said, you know, there is a risk in a hospital that the public and the people who work there should be vaccinated.
So it potentially shuts the door implementing mandates through OSHA, but it doesn't shut the door implementing mandates otherwise.
From states.
Right.
Or individual companies.
Right.
Right. Well, remember that's the Supreme Court since 1905 has been upholding state vaccine mandates. It started with smallpox. Mm-hmm. So it's part of the police powers of the state to determine whether the population needs to be vaccinated. Yeah. The problem here was the question of overreach, which is, was the federal government improperly in the business of vaccines when the Supreme Court has always maintained that it shouldn't be?
Yeah, but they still gave OSHA the right to do it in hospitals, mm-hmm. which if OSHA didn't have the power, you could argue Congress should do that, not the executive branch. So Amir, Thane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.